Hello, this is Sarah's Living with MS. This life we lead is so unpredictable. Here I created this channel for multiple sclerosis, awareness, and support, but today I'm going to be talking about seizures and epilepsy. It's really looking more and feeling more like it was my medication that caused my seizures. Although there is a chance if you have multiple sclerosis that you could get seizures, I don't have any answers yet. I have not had my neurologist appointment yet since my hospital stay. Having experienced seizures, and knowing more about the warning signs, I wanted to share that information. I think it's really important to anyone that has a chronic illness or is taking medication to know what these are. I definitely had early warning signs of having a seizure. I just had no idea that's what it was. Having a chronic illness or taking any kind of medication does increase your chances of having a seizure. The seizure that I had about 4 weeks ago led to an ambulance ride, a trip to the hospital, and in the ICU. I did have another seizure while I was in the hospital as well. My husband had no idea what was happening when this was going on when I had my seizures. He thought I was dying. It didn't look like a typical seizure, and I was unresponsive after it happened. When it was all said and done and I recovered, we realized that there was warning signs that had been going on for months and that day that had led up to the seizure. I had the first seizure at 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. My symptoms started early Saturday morning. We were doing some light cleaning around 10 o'clock in the morning, and I started feeling really lightheaded and dizzy, kind of like a low sugar type feeling. And then my heart started racing and I started to feel panic. And then I got a really strong sense of deja vu. We thought it was a panic attack, so I just rested and it went away. I went on with my day and nothing else happened until right before I went to sleep. I had that same feeling again, all the same feelings of like low blood sugar. My heart was racing, this deja vu feeling. My husband brought me 2 pieces of candy. I ate one of them and I fell asleep. Looking back over the last 6 months, I realized that I did have this feeling. It did happen often. It was not as strong. It did not necessarily have that deja vu. Most of the time it was in the morning, and I always thought it was like low blood sugar from, maybe just not eating enough before bed or because it was the morning. Also, I had phantom smells along with this, and I thought that was just MS. Which it could still be, just that's what it was. We don't really know at this point if the smells have anything to do with that. Many people experience a similar feeling when they're going to have a seizure. It's called the aura. It's a change in a sensory feeling of your sense of smell, your vision, or your hearing. That Saturday night, I had 1 piece of candy. I felt nauseous, did not want the second piece. I fell right asleep. I don't remember anything else that happened after this point, but this is what my husband told me. He woke up. He wasn't unsure of the reason why he woke up, but I was rigid, intense, and unresponsive. He kept trying to wake me up, but I wouldn't respond, and then I started making a choking sound. I was laying on my back, so he moved me to my side, and he called 911. He had mentioned that it didn't look like a seizure at all to him. He had no idea what was going on. I didn't have like a typical seizure reaction. While he was waiting for the ambulance to get to our house, I was still unresponsive and would not respond to him. The ambulance arrived and they took me to the hospital. I did come out of it a little bit on the way to the hospital. I remember just like they were realizing that I was someplace weird, and they were asking me questions like really dumb ones that I knew the answers to. And I was like, why are they asking me these questions? That's really the only thing I remember from that. But then I guess when we got to the hospital, I had another seizure. Since I did have another seizure, they put me in the ICU. Once I was in the ICU, I did start to recover, so they moved me to the regular hospital. I was there for 2 days after many tests. They were unable to determine why I had the seizures. The most interesting parts to me of this was that I had no idea those warning signs I had were for a seizure. That my seizure wasn't like anything like what you think a seizure would look like. I had short-term memory loss during that time I was at the hospital, and for about 3 to 4 days after my seizure. Also, my MS symptoms declined. They wouldn't let me leave the hospital without a walker and a shower chair. I am not as recovered as much as I want to be, but I am doing better and I'm making progress. So I'm really happy about that. To give a little update on myself, I did see my PCP yesterday, and I was able to get a referral to see a new neurologist faster than my appointment in July. So I'm super excited about that. I also got a referral to start physical therapy again. And today I had my checkup for my breast cancer, and that came back clear. So I'm really happy about that. A huge relief to be cancer-free right now. Sometimes when you have multiple health issues going on, you kind of feel like you're just going from one thing to the next. Like, what's the next thing? What's the next disappointment? So right now I'm really just trying to enjoy the good news of being able to see a new physical therapist, get to a new neurologist, hopefully a better one, faster, and get some answers for my seizures and for my MS treatment. I'm enjoying this great news. And through this channel, I'm really hoping that I can share my experiences to help someone else out there like me with going through these similar experiences. Thank you so much for your support. If you haven't already, please visit my channel, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.